Hello, welcome to the show. I'm Jacquelene Close-Moore, and you're on A1R Psychic Radio, Moonstruck TV. Yeah, it's work from home day. It's sort of like Groundhog Day, really. We're in lockdown number 5. We're sort of in that last week too. It's going to be a while. So yeah, it's kind of exciting times. My upstairs neighbour is vacuuming daily. So that kind of introduces today's topic, which is about house space clearings, which is like clearing the energy in your house, which you can do by vacuuming, which I thoroughly recommend you do before calling me in. I sort of ended last week's show about talking about when I walk into somewhere to do a space clearing, that I walk in neutral. So I don't walk in fear. I recently watched The Conjuring 3. Can't remember the end title of that, but the devil made me do it. That's it. The devil's to blame for everything. I mean, one of these humans and their actions got nothing to do with it. It's all about what the devil did, right? Anyhow, I was talking about how, when I walk into to do a space clearing, I'm actually walking in neutral. And so what that means is I'm not in a space of fear. I'm also not in a space of, get behind you, Satan, because, I don't know about you, but that's going to get you thrown across a room. Not that many things will. But generally, I don't know about you, but if I was still inhabiting my house after I pass over, which I'm going to show you I won't do, it's just like, I'm out of here, sweetheart. I've worked hard enough. Time to check out. Time to have a rest. I'm just going off to the astral plane, going to nick off and zoom around. Saturn. I'm going to make a joke about Uranus, but I won't do that. And, I'm just going to relax and chill. I'm not going to be terribly fussed if someone comes through my house. But can you imagine if you were alive and someone just busted into your house and said, get behind thee, Satan? And you're like, what are you talking about? I'm not the devil. At least last time I checked. Haven't pulled up the devil card in the tarot a number of times on myself, so I still think I'm in the clear. Wonder what's going on here. I mean, some people are not going to react like that, are they? They're probably going to, feel a bit threatened. And if you're in Texas, they might shoot you. Not everyone in Texas, of course, but I'm just thinking with all those guns, that it could happen. Because frankly, if someone's busted in your door, you've got to protect yourself, right? So if you're a spirit that hasn't quite left the house yet and you're like, oh, Pokemon, yeah, that sounds like fun. And you're like walking around your lounge room, but you're in the astral, but you're in your house still because you haven't quite left, because that's the last place you remember being or really enjoyed being. Then you're going to take a bit of offence, someone coming in going, Wookie, get out of here. So that's why I don't walk in a judgmental, angry sort of, I am God, Kanye. I'm a God. I don't walk in singing that song. I actually also don't walk in fear. So if something's got that heebie-jeebie energy and you're like, oh, wow, really feeling that, I make sure that I'm feeling clear and that I'm in a good space before I go, doing some stuff in someone else's space. The other thing I'll do when I walk up to do a space clearing on a house is before I even cross the sidewalk onto the land of that house. And even before I walk into the street or drive into the street, I'm actually checking out that this is okay to do. Is this my role today? Do I have a business here? Or is this as it's intended, or is there something going on here that is not for me? I've walked into places where I've had to, I've then had to, go and get one of my friends of First Nation elder and say, this one's for you, sweetheart. I've got to get you down here for this. And that's exactly what I've done, because, it's like I've got no business being in this particular spot, and you'll know more about what's happening in this space because this is your country. So on land, in your country. So that's why I sort of ask all those questions first. So say it is okay to do this in this suburb, in this street, in this house. First thing I'm doing is asking as I get, even when they call me, it's like, is this right to do? Then I get to the suburb. Okay, what's going on here? Are there other things going around here that I might need to work on? Then I get to the street, same thing. And I'm just checking all the way through. and asking permission. So when I get to the land, I speak to what's called the spirit of place. So that's like the guardian of that particular land. Very rare they go missing. Sometimes, like, these people are just so bad. I'm out of here. But it's basically the good energy of the place. Yeah. So you're asking permission. Is this okay? How can I help you? And usually you're going to get some pretty cool answers. I think I got told, once, is when I got my First Nations friend to come along, because I got there and it was like, I got from the call, from the suburb, from the street, and then to the place. And all along the way, it was like, yes, you need to come because you're going to get to the bottom of what's happening here. And then when I got to the place, it was like, well, this is what's happening, and it's not for you to clear. It needs this First Nations person. And I'm like, totally respect that. Told the construction site manager, this is what I need to do to help you. Went and got her. That's it. So usually in a normal house clearing, where it's not, a situation like that, I'll speak to the spirit of place first, and then, once I've got the okay to go in there, then I'll talk to the owner, and do all that stuff, preparing, and then also I either will need them out of the house, or they're fine to be in the house at the time. And I'll be speaking, like having a conversation, like, hey, do you realise what's going on here, and da 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 da. And then we have a discussion about, clearing that. Now, sometimes you get a spirit that's, a bit cantankerous to start with. And then by the end of it, and it's not that long, they're like, okay, yeah, fine. And yeah, I get your point, So one example was I was called to this house, in Mitcham many years ago where I lived. Like I was living in Heathmont at the time, and I was getting called to this house in Mitcham, and I didn't know where the house was. I just kept seeing visions of it. And this voice was calling to me saying, this is where you're going to move next. This is where you need to be. You're going to learn stuff here. And anyway, I was looking for houses anywhere but there. I went to a real estate agent and they said, oh, look, I know all these houses are great, but this house is really cheap rent. It was the second last rental I ever had. And this place is really cheap rent. And it's a pretty good house, very well situated. You look, they're opening 10 minutes. You've got to go down. I'm like looking at it and going, and from the front, like the pictures were just yuck. And anyway, I went along and I get to the house and I'm like, now I recognise you. This is the old man's voice. Oh, okay, yeah, you've been calling to me. And then I saw the garage and went, and then I walked to this place, and then I walked up to the front door, and there was a crow feather hanging in the flyway, and I went, hello, my animal totem's here, one of them, and I can't walk away now, I've got to walk in. And then I got inside the door and he says, what took you so long? And I went, hey, all right, I guess I've got to take this place. And I walked around inside the house. I started recognising it. I walked out the back door and immediately recognised, standing at the back, very back fence, the back of the house. I was recognising this from all my visions, because that's a vision I saw all the time, was standing at the back fence looking to the back door. So my visions were showing me the back. It was only through walking through this house I didn't like the front of, that I get to see that this is a house that's been calling me. So I moved in, and I wanted to get someone to space clear in, because I thought a feng shui person would know more than me, and usually they do. This person that I got in was fairly newly qualified, and so it took 3 times to get there, because each time I'd fall asleep weirdly on the couch. And I said to her on the third occasion, please just open the wire door. I'm going to leave it unlocked. And if I'm asleep on the couch, come and wake me up. I'm so sorry that it took 3 times. And she actually woke me up on the couch, because this guy just didn't want anyone else in there. He just wanted me all to himself. Thanks, dude. So anyway, I sort of went, oh, well, you can do this. So she goes out the back and does this woogie thing, and, is yelling at him, and yeah, she got thrown across the room. And whoops. So I learned a lot that day, like, to trust my own ability. And feng shui people are really good when they're relaxed and chilled, and also walking in that calm fashion, not judging stuff. So it wouldn't matter if it was a priest or, anyone else. If it was me being a dumbass, and I walked in and like, I'm going to get my ass whooped potentially. I mean, it's very rare you could ever have that kind of interaction. Usually spirits cannot touch you. But in this case, he was making a point. And so we finally got him aware of our presence, because he'd been walking around in 1976 for a long time and shaving in the bathroom mirror, and I could never get his attention before. So finally got his attention. I'm going, well, what year do you think it is? And when's the last time you ate? And, hey, can you see the furniture around here? It looks a bit different. And he's going, oh actually, yeah. He goes, oh, well, I was just waiting here for my wife. She died before me. And, she hasn't come yet. So I went, oh, okay. So I did a portal opening of a kind. And lo and behold, his wife came through, and he could see his whole family. I could actually see them as well. I could see the whole family and all his loved ones and his wife. And she came through, took his hand, and he says, oh, thanks for that. All right, gotta go now. Good luck with the house. Off he went, and off she went, and peace in the house after that. And loved living there after that. It was great. Trust your instincts.